this is just going to be a short little video about two things. One, burying the power from the corner over there out to the machine shed. So that we can get rid of this overhead line, which has always been a problem. So anyway, you see this trench here. So a little over a week ago I rented a trencher, and I think it's 110 feet from here to there, and it is now trenched in, and the wire is up out of the ground on both ends. I've installed a used 100 amp service entrance box inside that building, and the wire is all the way up inside the box ready to be connected. And we've had a ton of rain, and so you can see that things are gooey as we go along here. Standing water in a lot of this goop here on our new gravel driveway, which it's really fortunate that we had for what I'm going to show you shortly. And anyway, and there we go up to that building. So again, we'll be able to get rid of this overhead wire and this temporary mast that I had to put up so we could get some gravel trucks through here to put gravel in here. And when the power lines are rebuilt that way, they'll allow the big trucks with the new poles and stuff to get through here. Okay, so think of it, there's going to be three items, because in this area right here, I got the backhoe out and dug this whole area out, probably another 6 inches down, to improve the drainage so that we can never get water into that building. A little bit used to seep in because the ground is so level, and so anyway, I decided to deal with that. So this is, it doesn't look like it because the grass is really tall, but now that drains well into this pipe right here that you can barely see, and then that goes 20 feet over that away, exactly 20 feet, and whenever it needs to, that can drain out. That can drain out this end of that pipe, and then that can come all the way around and down and so on. So that's item 2. So item 3 is that we had a severe water problem here this spring, where the second patio that we replaced in about 2013 tipped the wrong way. It was so close to the level of, the basement floor that some water did actually get in through the patio door under the door metal mechanism. Not a lot, and no damage was done, but still it was water. So it's now gone, and it was supposed to be 6 inches thick, but it was only 1.5 to 4, and we've now gone down an extra 4 inches below the level of the basement floor with the patio top, sloping it more. There's about 8 inches of river rock underneath it, and when the guys, the concrete guys, removed the old concrete and got down this far and put the rock in, that rock actually, part of it went underwater. There was just so much wet. So they asked me to come out with the backhoe and make a ditch, and so I made this ditch. And that's 110 feet long. There's another view of the work site looking at the house from the south, and again you can see that they're waiting for dry weather to pour, and they've been coming up this direction here with trucks and stuff, and I'm surprised that the ground has held up as well as it has. But boy, it's damp now, and we're not going to have any hot weather to really dry it out, so we'll just have to see what happens. So again, another view of the ditch. Now let's go take a look and see what's in that ditch. So now we're looking directly from the south at the patio door. You can see that it's like, well, I hope it's 8 or 9 inches below the concrete that you see there. So when we're done, we should have 4 inches. The concrete should be 4 inches below the basement floor inside the house. So I guess you can kind of see that it's draining from the where that river rock is, right there, and it's just draining constantly. It's running slowly, but it's running, and all the way down the trench and all the way out into the field. So I've got about 0.32 inches per foot drop, and I'll have to do a lot of cleaning up and re-landscaping this whole area. I don't know if it'll ever be dry because of just the way life is around here. You can see the water flowing. Merrily along its way. And I've temporarily added 10 or 15 feet to that downspout so that any rain that we do get will be caught by the what do they call that stuff, leaf guard up there, and it'll come down this downspout, and rather than being able to run right back in toward the patio, it'll come out out the end here and hopefully run this way toward us rather than into the patio area. And I will do landscaping again there by the edge of the curb to make sure that the water comes this way and doesn't flow that way toward the curb, on both sides, as a matter of fact, once they're done. Just a shot of the construction area from the east looking toward the west, and things are pretty well chewed up. Alright, the contractors had to remove the concrete from the old patio and the dirt under it to get down lower, to move the new slab down deeper. So they had to go that way around the buildings to the west, and I showed you where they came in, but they used a pretty good sized skid steer loader to come down here, and they went off that way, made a mess there, moderate mess. It was a skid steer with tracks, so at least it didn't get stuck. But I'll have work to do here too, as we can see. And he got into my drainage pipe here that drains that area, so I'll have to rework that when they're done. But here's the concrete. I thought maybe I might use some of this to shore up the area up where the beaver culvert is. And this is quite a pile of, I guess you'd call it dirt, that they dug up. It looks like it's pretty heavily clay. There might be a little sand in it. I don't know if there's anything I can do with that. Good thing I kept 20 feet extra when we sold the 40 here. So now I've got some place to stack all that stuff.